Live from the podcast rooms in Glasgow, it's all about the Gers with Ricki Neill, Derek Ferguson and Charlie Miller.
Hello and welcome to All About the Gers. It's myself, Ricki Neill, back for another All About the Gers podcast. It's not the podcast that we want to be talking about again this week, unfortunately. The football's not been the best. But before we go into the football, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all our sponsors, ISG Resin Flooring Specialists, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, and tonight's special guest sponsor is from Giant Architectural and also one of the owners of Lounge 72. So welcome, John. How you doing, mate?
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Charlie as well.
Hello, guys.
How are you, mate?
How are we?
Scunnered, totally scunnered.
To be fair, I think I was lucky yesterday. I was up at Oban and playing a game. Well, O'Nine's were playing a game up there, so missed the game. So by all accounts, it wasn't the best again. So at least my boys win.
Man, that's a good result for you, eh? It's a long way to travel for the game.
A long way, definitely, but they have to do it every second week, so fair play to them.
And as you noticed, there's no Derek here, but we've got John.
Derek just doesn't fancy it, does he? He's just in Bologna eating bolognese.
I know. Do you know what he said? He was going to try and stream in, but it turns out Lewis has booked him a nice wee restaurant, so we were second best. But he's going to be back next week, and he's also going to be back for our Christmas party, which is on the 16th of December up in the Earth venue. And it's ourselves and Chris D on the singer, not on the singer. He is a singer and he plays the keyboard as well. And then we've got wee DJ DeVito. But it's a brilliant night, and tickets are on sale just now, so you can get them at allaboutthegers.co.uk. Anyway, I suppose we better talk about football. Rangers, Ajax. John, since you're our sponsored guest, I'm going to come to you first.
And I'm in tears here.
Oh, thanks.
Just you talk.
I know, we're just going to let you talk all night.
What a time to show up. Cheers.
So, right, before the Rangers and Ajax game, right, it's must-win game so we can try and get Europa League football. If you were the manager of Rangers, John, what would your talk be before that game?
Oh, dearie me. That's a hard question, Ricky. After losing 5 games in a row, you've actually nothing to lose. So what do you say to them? Going to go out there and give a bit of effort, going to enjoy. But is this, we're having a wee chat actually about this. But if the Ajax manager's got a boy at 9, and he probably said to his boy in the morning, how's Rangers going to play? Son, the boy would go, he'll be there, they'll be there, the 2 wingers will be there, 1 guy up front, the guys don't run. So as you do is play quick. They've got 2 new centre halves, young boy. Catch him on the break, like everybody does. And it's easy, but it's poor. It's soul destroying. And it's the same debate we have every week. And what after the games, nothing seems to be changing. Even every away game since Van Bronckhorst came, I can't remember a good away performance in the league since he's been there. I don't know if you can remember one.
I think the thing is that the player's confidence is shot. The manager doesn't look as if he knows what he's doing at the moment. He doesn't look as his best team is the ones he's playing every week. That's who he thinks his best team is. So people are saying he doesn't know what his best team is, but he seems to be sticking by the same ones all the time. So, and he's still not putting Morelos up front with Kolak, which I just cannot understand. We need to be beating team. Obviously, St Johnson yesterday was 70% possession with 29 shots at goal. If you Kolak and Morelos there, surely they can score 1 or 2. Maybe even 2 or 3 between them. And with 8 chances. It was, as I said, didn't see the game yesterday, it was up in Oban, but by all accounts, it wasn't the best performance. I think it started no bad as well, supposedly.
Well, that's
20 minutes.
We'll come to that later, Charlie, because you're right. Gio thought we started good the first 30 minutes yesterday, but I thought we were so predictable. It doesn't matter how much possession you've got in the first half. If you're not getting any goals, it's pointless, you know.
We need Morelos on the pitch. We definitely need Morelos and Kolak together. It's about time he starts playing them. And then the ones who are on the want to sign their contract, obviously Morelos is one of them, but we really need to get him fit to try and sell him or get him fit so we can re-sign him. Because it doesn't look as if Kent's going to sign, and he's not playing anywhere near, but he can play. He's been terrible the last year or whatever, and he just didn't look interested. But not just him. It's just really, really hard to watch and very, as John said, predictable. We just play the same way all the time.
Aye.
But obviously, with the injuries doesn't help. The injuries they're massive. There's a massive amount of players out. Obviously, I think Goldson obviously would play. Lawrence would play probably. Hollander maybe probably play, and then maybe Roof. But you need the squad so that you can put pressure on players. You know what I mean? You need the squad. You need everybody fit so that they're all fighting for positions. At the moment, it doesn't look as if they're really caring about fighting for positions because they know everybody's injured.
Hadji would get a game on all, surely, no?
Aye, Hadji. Aye.
I
don't know actually, but
I know.
Looking at that team, you would think he would get a game.
Aye, Georgie.
So I'm saying everybody keeps on talking about Hadji coming back. You know, everybody keeps on talking about him coming back, but I didn't think he was anything special before he got injured.
No, but look at them now. Hadji's a bit better than what we've got at the moment.
He seems to be spending more time making walkers ads and things like that on his Instagram. I don't know if you've seen his advertising everything.
No.
He must be doing all right.
But he's the link-up man for the midfield through to the strikers. He's the one that's got that final pass. We don't have it. We've been crying out for it for a year since he's not been. We really need somebody, a number 10, who can actually play it as a number 10, score goals, create goals. But there doesn't seem to be any money. The club aren't spending money. Obviously, we don't know if Gio does sign the players or he agrees with the players or Ross Wilson just goes, there you go, that's what you're getting and that's it. And then that's not the way. You can't. Walter would never have accepted that.
Aye.
Well, yeah, I don't believe in that director. I don't get it. I don't understand it because if you're not on the same page, then it doesn't work. It just cannot work.
I read a wee interview the other week and it was saying about, does Gio pick the players? And he says what happens is he puts his suggestions towards like Ross Wilson
and then gets none of them.
And basically, if Ross Wilson's not happy with it, then anyway. But same thing, if Ross Wilson puts players in front of Gio says no, then that's it. They move on. That's not the way to run a football team. But
no, but you've got to identify where you're weak, where you can sign the best players. So, for instance, we need a striker, right? Okay, what can we buy wage wise? What can we afford wages wise, and how much can we afford to pay? Then you take it for there. Okay, that one's super league, right? Okay, he's decent. So we were very fortunate with Kolak. I think it was a good one. But the other ones just haven't clicked at all. It's been very poor. The other ones, the signings have been very poor. And as I said at the beginning, I was hoping it wasn't quantity over. And
I think you've been proven right with that.
I think so.
I mean, they're even saying that Yilmaz is meant to be homesick as well. Can that affect you as a player?
Of course it can, but he was actually starting to play a wee bit there. And obviously, it looks as if he'd settled in a wee bit until the injury. But there's a lot of things coming out of the club that shouldn't be coming out. There's people. Obviously, how do you know Yilmaz is homesick? Who says that? Everything should be kept indoors,
Leachy told me.
Was in Barcelona.
It was in Line City Taylor. That's where all the rumours start.
That's where he got injured.
I know. I forgot to actually say, but John's actually one of the owners of Lounge 72 as well. Myself and Charlie were in there a couple of weeks ago doing a Q&A. And I was doing the karaoke again for the Halloween party. In fact, I'm in there this Saturday, John.
Imagine.
Because Holly's let me down already after the first week. But now I'm back in there on Saturday, I think, for about 7:30.
Well, no doubt. I'll see you there.
That'll be a good night. Right, I suppose we better talk about the Ajax one. Worst possible start ever. We were all hoping. There was actually so many people in the chat last week, weren't there, Charlie, that thought we could get the 4 or 5 goals that were needed.
That
was their heart. That was their heart speaking, But to lose a goal in 4 minutes.
See, to be fair, I've not seen the goals since. See, the first goal, it was either the greatest finish ever won it because nobody's really spoke about it. I thought he dinked it.
I thought he dinked.
See, I was in line at the Fortin Suite and I thought he dinked it. And I thought me and Durante were sitting together and I'm like, what a finish that is!
Aye.
But then he looked as if he touched himself. So I was wondering, maybe he's kicked the ground.
I thought that, and I thought he kind of kicked.
No, he kicked the ground, didn't he?
Aye.
I think that's what put McGregor off.
Aye.
He dived, and Leon King, he was kind of rooted, don't he? But I don't even see how he didn't try and attempt to get the ball.
But Leon King actually moves out the way of the ball.
Because he didn't know McGregor had dived, because he probably obviously thought, no ways McGregor dived, because he's just booted the ground. He's going to put that in his pocket.
And it must be hard for that young boy, because, I mean, obviously he done that for the first one, and then he couldn't do it with the second one. But he's already starting to get criticised off the fans, and he's just an 18-year-old boy. But that doesn't matter at your age, doesn't it, Charlie?
No, it doesn't. As I say, you're only as good as your last pass at Rangers. But we have to cut the young boy some slack and just let him settle in and let him. He's getting a chance now, so support him. He's going to make mistakes because he's young, especially being a defender. If you make a mistake for being a defender, then you need your goalie to bail you out. And Griggsy does that more than most goalies, bails his defenders out. But unfortunately, when you're playing against class players like Ajax and Napoli, things like that, you get punished.
Aye. Do you know, I said a couple of weeks ago, the last Champions League game we played apart from Ajax, obviously, when Griggsy was like no letting a goal in, but when the goal was going in, normally he's like raging and he's out shouting, but it didn't seem as if, I don't know, we just couldn't be arsed. I don't know, just there's something wrong. And I don't mean that. I know McGregor wouldn't not be arsed, but normally he's out screaming at defence, stay this. But there's none of that.
You seen it yesterday, it was the exact same. Charlie was just said it. He hurt and Neill he there when he said, they don't look interested. None of them even they lost the first goal, and then when they lost the second goal, they're all just looking at each other instead of geeing each other up. Come on.
Somebody needs to grab the bull by the horns then and just go, right, okay, here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show fire and fight and
you're right.
get in about it and tackle somebody. And
yep. It doesn't happen.
It's all too passive, isn't it? It's just everything's passive and
predictable.
No.
We Jamesy was actually the first comment of the night, but I can't read it out. He's using bad language yet again, so I'm going to get him into trouble next time I see him. It starts with an S and ends with an E, all right? But that's just talking about Rangers' performances the past couple of games, all right?
That's all me and Charlie were getting it there. I'm just doing it all. Come on up and talk. My first appearance in the podcast. Oh no, I better be happy here, James.
We James likes you. Right, moving on to the second goal. It was actually another slack pass for midfield, which is happening quite a lot. Charlie, you know, how can we not string a pass together?
Who was it? Was it Sands?
I think it was Sands, in the midfield.
Sands, it was slack, and if you're going to be slack against top teams, you're going to get punished. But then I can't believe how we can't be this bad. We just beat PSV, right? But a couple of months ago, PSV go to Ajax and beat Ajax 2-1 yesterday. What's happened since then? What is actually? I know we've got injuries, but I just can't believe how much we went back since the PSV game, because it was a great result, a great performance. It was a team performance. They were battling for each other, and it made me proud watching it. We're in the Champions League now. But how can PSV go and beat Ajax 2-1 and we PSV didn't really worry us that much. They were good. Mm-hmm. But we battled well with them, and we kept ourselves in the game and kept ourselves in a tie, obviously, with a chance to go over there and win, which we done. And I can't believe how far we've went back since then.
I think we've been right down season. Celtic gave us a tanking for nothing. I think all confidence is gone, then we've lost. Lawrence was my best player. She linked the team up at the time. And then Matondo played, Kent was done nothing. And he played Matondo left wing against St Mirren, and he had a good game. He won 4-0 at Ibrox. But St Mirren had been gone well. And then he just drops Matondo at the team again. Brings Kent back in. He's not at the races, is he? He's another one. He just looks as if they want to be here. Mm-hmm. I think if you want to be there, you do a bit of effort, so you put your value up, so you're helping yourself as well as the club.
Do you know, there's a few players like that. In fact, do you know, out of the team yesterday, Charlie, obviously you missed the game yesterday, but do you know the average team rating for the Rangers team yesterday was under 4? And that was for the full team.
Right.
You know, so that's pretty bad. But James is actually talking about, he's saying the Lundstrom losing that ball. Sorry, I'm jumping to the St Johnstone game, and it's only because we're kind of talking about the players not showing the full fight and everything. But I showed you the clip that was on Twitter, Lundstrom losing the ball, not chasing back. Yeah. You know, it's inexcusable, James is saying.
Right. What you're saying as well, right? Griggsy would be shouting and balling at people. And Lundstrom, that's the first time you've probably seen Lundstrom no run back when he's lost the ball, or try and tackle, or at least do something. So it just looks as if everybody's kind of chucked it a wee bit. We really need to, we said this last week and the week before, but we really need to get to this break and then rebuild or get everybody together again, get rid of what nobody wants, get rid of the ones that don't want to be there, get rid of them, get them out, get a few new ones in. We need to bring ones in who are going to be better than what we've got. We really need to do that. That means go and spend some decent money, get some good players in, and get rid of the deadwood. We have to.
Charlie, see how you always hear the saying that the players are only playing for the manager? Have you ever been in a team that's actually happened, that the players haven't got confidence in the manager and they don't perform 100%?
I haven't, honestly. I've never. because the players have to take. We can always go back to Gio and say it's Gio's team, obviously, but the players have to have a look at themselves. You've got to go out there. You're wearing the Rangers jersey. You've got supported by 50,000 people every home game. Millions of people around the world. When you go to places like St Johnstone, watching television up at maybe midnight, watching that game, you've got to have a wee bit of respect for yourself. Show that you're willing to win and willing to work, at least willing to work and put a tackle in. They don't realise how big a club they're at, and if they want to leave, for instance, Morelos and Kent, they've no signed contracts. These guys want to leave. The grass isn't greener, I'll tell you that. They'll be shocked when they leave.
I don't think Kent would play Champions League football again if he left Rangers.
I agree.
John?
No, I think he'd be lucky to get him in the Premiership. I think he'd be a Championship player at best, especially the way he's playing now.
Aye.
No team in the Premier League's going to take him the way he's playing. They'd take him.
Do you know, it's funny, I actually watched an old podcast for, I think it was 2 years ago when we won 55, and it was actually Derek going on saying, we need to sign that Kent, we need to give him 10 million, 12 million, no matter what. How can a player change, Charlie, like that?
I've never said that anyway.
No, not you, not
Derek.
Derek.
I know you said Derek, but I've never said that.
Blaming
Anyway.
Fergie.
No, but I've never. He's got something. He's definitely got ability and he can play, but he's just not showed anything. But I'm not going to go on about him all the time because there's other ones that are just as, but playing just as bad at the moment, unfortunately. And sometimes you can get away with one or two, but it seems to be 6 or 7 or maybe more that aren't playing well, and they're just going out there and wearing the strip and no doing anything. So it's really disappointing.
Moving on, VAR actually saved us. I don't know if you've seen that it would have been their 3rd goal, I think. It was actually some goal, really, really good, but it was actually his boot.
Aye.
It was offside.
Ajax.
That's Ajax. It was a beautiful, it was a kudos or something that scored.
Aye. Good move.
Really nice, but we get caught in the defence again.
Everybody's just seen everybody starting to leave the stadium then. and then the goal was at Road Side and you've seen people start sitting down again.
But you know, I don't know if you were both at the game, weren't you?
I was at the game.
Oh, was
were you at the game? Did you see, like, when they scored that one, it looked like the 3rd. Did you see the close-up of Gio? It actually looked like he was in tears.
No, I was obviously in the stand. So
Did you see John?
Aye, definitely. He looked like a man broken, same as the players looked broken.
I was a man in tears.
That's just because you were sitting next to Durant.
I was only glad because I had a bottle of wine sitting there.
Aye, it must have been tough for you, Charlie.
Listening to Durant.
And that thought
sweet Stan and me Sammy.
Oh dear.
Aye.
People talking about this and that should be happening, and they're like, "Oh God Almighty, what's happening?" I said, "I don't know."
No, they all expect you and Durant to know the answers.
Honestly,
many times if somebody says, "Charlie, you should go and put on a strip."
Oh, loads of times. And then I go in and go, "You're shite, man, get back out."
Anyway, so there was chances for Arfield. I gave that Arfield a chance.
It was a great effort, actually.
A good effort, wasn't it?
It wasn't a chance, though.
And Morelos in the second half.
Morelos, he's done well as well, and then I think he had his shoe in the wrong feet.
But that's the kind of goal he would score, no problem.
100%.
John, do you think that's because he's like lacking game time or what? Or?
Game time, I don't know if it's his attitude. I seen a good comment from a guy up there saying
they're flying and so
no, he said the only one we won in Eindhoven and he left Morales in the house.
Aye, this one.
He said it could be a bad apple.
Aye, so it was that Alex Kelly says, which player didn't travel to Holland, lads? Morelos, his attitude has been honking from the start of the season. He's become a bad apple in the team.
You never know, do you?
Well, that might be a part of it, because obviously the players it was him that went to the manager and said to him that he has to commit the team, and if he's still causing havoc, then get rid of him, get him out.
Yeah.
But as I say, I think we need him playing. But if his attitude's terrible, then doesn't he play? You bring in young Robbie Urey or whatever and give him a chance. We need to play with 2 up front. I've always said that Rangers need to play with 2 up front at home, no matter what. In Scotland especially, the chances they create, and we need to start putting balls into areas where people can actually go and score goals from. Just punt the ball into the box and think we're going to win headers.
Sorry.
But we're going to play on Wednesday, Charlie, and I bet the team's just the same. I bet the formation's just the same. The attitude changes a wee bit at home because it seems to be a different team in the league, but guarantee there will be 2 guys up front on Wednesday.
Do you know, the comments are firing in, by the way, so just if we can't get your question in, it's just there's loads coming in from Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, so we'll try our best to go through them. And one of the main things that, in fact, I'm just going to bypass that last goal for Ajax anyway. All right, we'll just skip that.
The wee guy came on, but me and Gerard are sitting next to each other. I'm like, look at the size of this wee guy. Sergio Conceição's boy. He used to play Portugal.
Right.
Played with Figo now.
But ages about 12 or something.
And he looked about 12.
He did.
He was about the size of Jimmy Cranky, he looked like. And I met, then the boys went through a touch, bang, goal. I'm like, 2 touches, he's just come on, bang. Oh, God. And then we thought we had a wee chance at that point as well, with maybe getting a point. Oh,
Things are going to get better, by the way.
Still get more coefficient
Can't get any
points
worse.
than that mob anyway.
Things, well, they're coefficient. That's amazing, isn't it? How we ended up with a better coefficient.
Because we went
Because
through
we're qualifying
games.
games.
Aye.
Right. I'm going to kind of look at the chats now, because it's quite a common theme that's coming on, and it's all about, is it time for Gio to go? But not just Gio, Ross Wilson as well. So, John, I'm going to ask you this one. This is from Stephen McDonald. Does Mr. Leach, very formal, think Ross Wilson should walk?
I think he should start walking and no look back. He should just go. You've got the buck's got to go with him and with Gio. As Charlie says, you don't know who's pulling the strings. You don't know if it's Gio's wanting the guys or Ross Wilson's wanting the guys. So you don't know who to blame, because you don't get any.
But Rangers don't give nothing. They
They don't get you anything, so you don't know. Even Lawson yesterday, you expect the board to say something. We're going to have a look at it, and they don't say anything.
Do you know when they say something? It's when it suits them. So, for instance, see when they won the thing about the cinch deal,
Aye.
they were straight up saying, we've done this and they're not going to be getting...
But even yesterday, I seen a guy giving the players, he wasn't giving them abuse, he was only asking them a question. He said, we follow you everywhere, all over the world, all over Europe. He said, one player yesterday, because he's got beat 2-1, a guy who's just arrived at the club, Kolak, only one that went up to the fans and applauded him, the rest of them just ran down the tunnel.
Oh, did they?
Aye. And the guy said, having you, he said, that's not acceptable. He said, is that what we deserve?
And fair play as well to Cholak, because he was getting mega abuse for some of the boys on the right-hand side for you. So he's going up to give this young girl his strip, and the other boys were fucking shouting and swearing at him. It must be awful, but I mean, you shouldn't have to put up with that, Charlie, either, shouldn't you know?
Oh, yeah, of course you shouldn't have to put up with that, but guys are paying their hard-earned cash, and it's no cheap. Everything's expensive nowadays as well, but guys are spending their hard-earned cash to travel for wherever, to go to St Johnstone or go to Europe, and they're getting this rubbish to watch. And some of the players, don't get me wrong, a lot of the players are trying, and I know that, but some of them probably are just strong enough to kind of pick their game up a wee bit without somebody else, like, say, a Goldson, who would maybe shout and get them fired up, or Morelos doing a wee tackle on somebody, or just bullying somebody and getting the fans behind them. But maybe not got many players that are strong enough like that. Even Lundstrom, obviously, not running back last week for the game when he gave the ball away, it's not like him at all. Usually he's always up for the game and gives 100%, you know. So there's something not working. I don't know if it is overcoaching or if it is watching too many videos and seeing how bad they actually are playing. And they think, oh God, that's what these fans are having to watch.
So do you think they're not getting the freedom to play where they should be playing and just enjoying their football kind of thing?
I don't know. I don't think we've got the players to play the way we play now. I think even a 4-4-2 or something. As I say, we need 2 up front. I've been shouting for it for weeks and weeks, and I think everybody else is the same. I think they'd be a perfect partnership. I really do. Morelos and Kolak.
Do you know, Charlie, they actually eventually brought on Morelos yesterday for the second half, but we'll come to that later because you'll not believe it was just the same one. But we'll come to that later. Right. I'm going to try and answer as many questions now. So here's Brian Trench. He's saying the money we've got from Maribo and Bassi will be walking out the door when Kent and Morelos leave for free, as they were touted for similar fees. So that's bad business, isn't it?
And Kamara as well.
Aye, when you think about it. But he's turned into the 50 grand players.
Aye, that's what I was talking about.
Barisic might be on that list or no. You never know.
To be fair, Barisic has not been the worst.
No, he's not been the worst, but we could have sold him to Roma, couldn't we? What was that, for 10 million or something they were saying?
Aye.
You're not getting 10 million for him now.
But that's comes under Ross Wilson, isn't it? That's bad business.
We should walk. I don't know.
Well, if we get offered 10 million for him, if we get offered 10 million for Barisic, Kamara, 10 million for Kent, or 15 million for him, whatever it was, and 15 million for Morelos, then it's bad business. Of course, it's bad business, especially if when you're the one that's going to sign a contract, because you know if guys are going to sign or not going to sign. All this rubbish about wanting to play in the Champions League, they've not turned up. So they're definitely kind of playing the Champions League when they go to somebody else.
Do you know, there's a few people online as well talking about the amount of money that we sold players for, etc., all that kind of stuff, and why we're not putting the money back in the team. But someone actually told me quite an interesting stat, and it was about Philip Helander. He's played something like 35 games, and he's cost us roughly about £8 million. When you look at his wages, I think he's on 700,000 a year or something, 724,000 a year, plus his sign-on fee was about £4 million. So that's, you know, everybody seems to forget that, you know, these injured players are still getting paid.
100%, yeah.
What do you?
You know, it's a business, it's a job kind of thing for them, you know, but that's where the money's going. It's an expensive thing, but at the same time, you know, should we be building that Edmondson house? Should we be doing up or should we be concentrating on players, John?
To me, it's they just concentrate on getting money. The more money they can get in, the better. We don't know where it goes. It seems the Edmonton House is obviously a money-making exercise. It will be the Blue Sky Lounge, which have doubled the price. Money-making exercise. Every day they've got a new strip. I'm not surprised when there's not a Christmas strip out with all the defeats on it. Right enough, maybe some fucking size this year. Sorry for spelling.
Might fit me.
I think that's 8 games. How many games is that we've lost?
I don't know. Don't mind talk about it.
This year?
9
games
6
already.
in Europe and 3 in the league.
No, the mob, other mob beat us, didn't they? The first game because we beat them in the second game.
Union.
Aye. Then we've lost 6 in the Champions League and 2 in the league. 9 games, and it's November the 7th. That's no Rangers, is it?
No, do you know, Alex Kelly probably says what all Rangers fans are feeling, and it's heartbreaking to see the team play now. We've managed to undo all the good work King, Allen and Gerrard have done, which is true. Because they get rid of Allen, I thought he was good.
He's right again. I like him.
Aye, he's good, isn't he? He can come to the Christmas night out.
Aye, he can come
if you buy a ticket.
We'll give him a free of charge ticket.
Oh, you?
Aye, I'll buy it.
The Edmondson house was already done for last season, so that's no in the money for this year, obviously.
Aye.
So the money coming in for the players should have went back in players. The two we sold, at least the 25 million we got for 30 million we got for the Bassey and Aribo. They actually got at least 20 million that actually went back into players.
Yeah. Charlie's right again.
Do you know, myself and Charlie are heading down to Corby on the 19th, and Stuart Finley's just said get Johnny to come down to Corby. No chance. He's not coming.
19th of what?
I'm not telling you.
Stuart, send me a private message.
Jalemba.
19th
of November.
Aye, so looking forward to that. 19th of November.
I've got a wedding that night.
Aye.
E. Grant's wedding reception. You're meant to be
I
there.
was meant to be going to that.
So you didn't need to buy a present. I know you're late.
Nah, sorry, Grant. Grant actually watches the show, by the way. So sorry, mate.
Grant is a joke.
I'll make
I'll
up
get
for
a present after, mate. Don't worry.
I'll make up for it next time. Right. Before we go into the St Johnstone game, obviously John's our special guest, sponsored host tonight. So, John, you're from Giant Sea Architectural. Do you want to tell us a wee bit about your business and what you do?
We started in 2008. We usually do EU profile channel glazing around UK mostly, but we've done a couple of jobs abroad as well. Been on Grand Designs twice, which was good fun. But now we've at this time to expand, time to spread it a wee bit. So we've started an M&E division. So we've got meetings more in London. Hopefully a big contract in Kirkcaldy, and then we've got a job for a big fit-out job in London tomorrow. And we're involved in fire and security, so we're expanding. But that's how I'm really busy. And couldn't have been on the last couple of times you were watching.
He charged us. He charged us as well.
Ricky. He's on Grand Designs.
Honestly, Grand Designs. What's that again?
What did I charge you?
He charged us to come on tonight. This character, he's making billions.
And also, you're one of the co-owners of Lounge 72, and one of your business partners, Jamie Park, just says, I love John Leach. So
that's it. Oh, you don't start all that intimacy stuff.
A wee bit of romance there for you.
You never said that Saturday night, believe me.
But while you're on as well, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Yep. Who's your favourite Rangers player of all time that you've actually seen play?
Except me.
Except Charlie.
Apart from Charlie.
Durante.
Fergie, because he might be watching in Bologna while he's eating in the restaurant.
Nah, because he's not here, he's not
He'll
got the
be
mention.
chicken nuggets and chips.
I know.
You'll be steaming by now. No, but I remember back in the old days, and I always liked Tam Forsyth. See, when I went to Derek Johnson in their days, obviously guys and the boys, you've had your times, but my favourite was always Big Jaws. I thought brilliant. Rangers attitude. Just me, that's my opinion when I was away, but younger, watching them.
Aye.
I thought it was great.
What was your most memorable moment of being a Rangers fan then?
Certainly not new, but there's nothing better than being a Rangers fan since the day. But the most memorable was the days when you're growing up and your dad takes you for the first time.
Remember a cross? No, a cross, no.
With Charlie's cross for Loudon up Cedar. That was memorable. Aye.
Well then.
I don't know, man. Your head's big enough, Charlie.
No, it's not as big as Ricky's.
Oh, you.
No.
I get this every week, John, so I'm just taking it.
Why?
What? It's full of knowledge, I tell you. It's full of knowledge.
That's that, mate. That's that. No, it was good. Aye. We know if it was penalty, it was memorable getting us to the final and on. Even we got to the final last year and all. They were all great moments.
Aye.
When any time beating them, the man came up, it was superb.
Do you know what I think's amazing about being a Rangers fan? And I see when you go to these away trips, see the people you meet, the friendships you keep for years and all. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, aye.
And you're doing it London quite a bit with the London Loyal, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Every time I'm down there, I'm actually on the board there at London Loyal as well.
Aye.
So supporters club, aye. It's a great club. They're all good clubs down there.
Do you know, in the London Loyal have actually donated a wee prize for us.
That's right. That's what they have.
2 tickets for Wednesday's game against Hearts.
Yep.
So all you need to do if you want to win these tickets is just tag one of your mates that you want to come along.
Not sure they'll want them.
That's it. It's 2 tickets for the Copeland Road against Hearts. So
Good seats.
very good
The
seats.
question is, who did Charlie cross a ban against?
Aye.
Aye, that was John's most memorable moment.
Yes.
Aye, so if you want to win the tickets for Wednesday night, then all you need to do is just tag one of your mates that you would bring along. All righty.
Good.
So that was good, John. I like
And that's
that.
tag.
This is turning into an over 18s podcast,
Oh,
right?
yes, I know. Behave. I'm not getting invited back, Charlie. Come on.
Right, we're going to have to talk about St Johnstone and Rangers now.
No.
But normally after a
Can we not just leave that? Game?
nah, and just talk about something else.
Aye. Talk about Wednesday's game coming up. Hearts coming up. You was talking about that yesterday. That's a total shambles.
Well, but normally when we have a Champions League defeat like that, we have some kind of reaction.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, we never.
Wrong reaction.
The wrong reaction. But I'm going to read out.
about it last week. Sorry.
Yeah.
We said last week, going up to St Johnston's going to be a horrible, horrible game. We know what it's going to be like. We were saying that, and don't just go up there and expect to win. Because St Johnston will make it hard. They'll defend. They'll sit back, try and hit them as a counter attack. You're not expecting the guy to hit a thunderbolt for about 30 yards at the top corner or whatever it was. But you've still got to show the energy and enthusiasm to go and play against these teams.
Aye, sorry. I just noticed that Cooper was actually on the screen there. So if anybody's seen that thing moving behind Charlie, it was actually my dog.
I think he's farted as well.
Is that? No, that was John. But I'm going to read out this. This was actually Kenny Miller that said this about yesterday's game. He says, within the team, there's a real lack of confidence. And I think there's a lack of belief in each other and potentially even in the manager about how they're going about their business. There's also a real lack of creativity. And when you look at the players that they've got, it's incredible to say that. What do you think, John, with that for Kenny Miller?
That's what we've said all night. Exactly same what we've been saying. He couldn't have put it any better actually, because he's right. Everything else right.
No, 100%.
It's right.
Charlie?
Aye, well,
just agree with everything?
I'm not creating anything, are we? It's just, it hurts. We're sitting here kind of giggling about it, but it's hurt. It's we should be creating much more. We should. I'm going back to 2 up front again, but because Morelos does do something out of nothing. I fit Morelos with needing the team, but he's just no fit. He's not been getting the time, and he's not looking interested. He actually came on the other night and he looked as if he was interested against Ajax.
Yeah,
but that said, it still doesn't look as fit as he should be or whatever. So
I'm also going to read out something that Gio said as well, right? We started the game really well. We started in the front foot and created so many chances in the first 30 minutes, but weren't clinical enough to score the first goal. Instead, we conceded, and that made it harder. Honestly, don't think we had all the possession. I spoke with it earlier on. Is he watching a different game for me, John? It's like
I can't remember a decent chance we created in the first 30 minutes. I know we had a lot of the ball, and
73%,
12 corners
possession.
in about 18 minutes.
Aye.
But every corner's the exact same.
Well, I was going to say that, John. You're right. Every single corner. Are they no practicing set pieces, Charlie, or what?
I have no idea.
No.
No, why are you asking Charlie that? I don't definitely know. Did you know what? Many corners did we have? 20 or something?
20, I think it was.
Maybe they're getting too much coaching and no working in set pieces and things they should be working on.
Aye. I think they're sitting in a classroom with fucking paperwork.
Beer.
Maybe they're doing too much in the training ground without stuff that when you're a professional football player, you don't have to coach guys anymore. You know the fundamentals of the game. You shouldn't be on a football pitch for 2 or 3 years going through this and going through that. You should know what you're going to do. Walter never really we used to really just play 5-a-sides and 7-a-sides and get right in about each other and kick a shit at each other and try and make sure you were starting on the Saturday. And they never really said much. You knew what you had to go out and do. You knew, obviously, you'd done set pieces and things like that, but you knew you were on the back post or what area you were marking. But you can't have players on the pitch for like 2 hours trying to walk them through things. They end up losing them, you get bored. The players will be like, bugger this is not what you want. And then going and sitting and watching a game for another 2 hours or going through all that. Oh, that would drive me insane. That's what I'm just thinking that's what it could be like, because it looks as if there's no enthusiasm, it does.
Then you're worried that you're going to do it wrong, aren't you? If you know what I mean. Well, if he's firing all these info at you, you're can't play the game that you want to play.
No, well, of course you can't. But Advocate, I don't imagine he will, because Advocate never overcoached. Advocate never.
Did Arfield no say they're doing more with the ball instead of running to get fit? They just maybe more ball work. Arfield said they're doing instead of.
So they should go back to the basics and learn how to pass it.
We're talking about the corners, but every corner, it came from one side for Barisic, one side for Tav, and everyone was no variation. There was no creativity, as you say. It was the exact same. So defenders know exactly what Rangers were going to do. Do you know what I mean? Nicky Clark was beating your centre half in there. So how are we going to score a goal per corner?
I know. I have to admit, 2 of their goals were actually decent goals, so they were, unfortunately. But every single game, Charlie, we've been saying it's predictable. Playing the balls to the wigs, and this is a bit that you didn't know, but they brought on Morelos and Arfield, right? And it was pointless because the boys still just kept on going into the wings. Nothing went through the middle.
But I think the problem is we've not got anybody that goes and beats somebody. We've not got anybody that will change it. Somebody running for midfield and beating a man and going in for a shot, but as you say, it's predictable. We'll pass it wide, we'll pass it that, we'll pass it left, we'll pass it right. You never ever. We don't see people like when you seen Tillman's goal against Murrayville. We've not got that. We've not got anybody that really does it. You need somebody to beat somebody to create space, and then the other team on the back fit. But we've nothing like that. We've no creativity as in a number 10, a proper number 10. I don't know if Tillman was playing yesterday, was he?
Aye.
I think he was there, right?
Was he right? But if somebody beats a man, then there should be space. Then it should be an area where you can go, a position where you can go to. For instance, if I'm beat a guy on the left hand side, then I can play it to Kent, and then I can keep on running. And then Kent, the guy doesn't know whether to go with me or go to Kent or whatever. Then it gives me a space. But we've nothing that goes and beats anybody and goes. It's direct. It's disappointing.
And there's Ali Quinn makes a good point as well. Where is young Lowry? Was he no on the bench?
Well, they brought him on against Ajax, and then just dropped him in the squad again. That's what I was saying earlier. The way he gives people a chance, you give the young boy, what's his name, Charlie McCann. You give him a chance, and then just.
Well, that's what we were talking about the other week, because he done well against United. I think young Charlie McCann. Then he wasn't even on the bench for the next. He's not been on the bench since.
Aye.
What's the thinking behind that?
I've not got a clue, Ricky. But you give the boy a chance. If he does all right, you've got to stick with him. As Charlie said, that wee guy come on the other night for Ajax, 17, 18 or something. 2 touches, bump in the net. But the boys don't get a chance, they're not going to get any better.
Rumour has it the wee man is not the best trainer or something. I don't know. That's what somebody says. But surely no. Real Alex Lowry. He's a tremendous talent, and I hope that's not the case. I hope it's just because he's just regaining fitness. He's no in the now, because he's definitely got the quality and somebody I'd like to see in the team, because I'm sure he could do better than what we're doing at the moment. But we can't just rely on the young boys. The players have to get their act together and start showing a bit of fight again. You know, I seen that one about the wee guy, his first away game, and he's want to go on Wednesday night.
Aye, I know.
I don't blame the wee man, but tell him to stick by the boys.
The good times will come back. It's 55 was amazing, and then last year everybody forgot about the league because we were too interested in Seville.
The only thing is last season as well. I don't think Giovanni would maybe have. I think if we didn't get to Europe, he'd probably been away by now.
Aye.
If we didn't get into the final, because the 7-point turn, because we were no 7 points ahead or something.
Aye. At Christmas. Aye.
Christmas, and then bang, it was like a 13-point swing. It was too much.
Something always seems to happen to us at Christmas. The next time we went to Dubai, and then
hope it goes the other way this Christmas.
Hope so. I can't wait for this. I mean, I wasn't looking forward to this World Cup, but I can't wait for it now.
But I was just hoping we get Bryson Johnson, which you think we would do, and then deal with Hearts at home, and then deal with St Mirren, and then hopefully we get Lawrence back, maybe Golson back, even Helander, Suter, Roof, Hadji's, 5 or 6 players back to strengthen the squad up.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe days a world of good.
Do you know, this has been one of the busiest nights, John. I don't know if it was anything to do with you, but you can see all the comments coming in and flying in. So thanks for everybody for watching. It's been a good show. It was, have to admit, I wasn't looking forward to it tonight because there's nothing worse talking about Rangers getting beat.
It's not funny and it's terrible, but
no, it's horrible. It's really, really hot. It hurts and it's my blood boils.
It's brain damage, isn't it?
I had loads of plans yesterday, and see the minute we get beat, I was like,
I never left the house.
I told you, I know I don't normally bet, but I put on a wee half-time, full-time bet. St John's to win the first half, Rangers to win. I'd actually already spent the £250. I was that confident that we were going to come back.
We should have.
I still can't.
It's very hard.
I know. I mean, everybody's saying it, how predictable it is again.
Can Conor Beggan be on here? Conor Beggar.
I'll just ban him right now. I see. They're obsessed by us, by the way, Charlie. Obsessed with us. Right. 7 points ahead there, unfortunately. We can still claw it back, can't we? Because we've got them 3 more times, is that right?
Yep.
So
we need the boys back. We need to get this. We need to be the most 7 points behind them. Then get all the players back January, sign a few bodies, 2 or 3 that can go straight into the team that are better than what we've got, because we didn't do that in summer. And we can, of course we can. We can definitely, they can get more injuries and struggle and maybe get beat here or there. But at the moment we were playing, definitely no chance. But I'm sure we can get the boys back, get 2 good results in the next 2 games. We've got to believe we can still win the league, because we play them 3 times, and if we win all our games, then we win the league.
Aye.
So you've got to look at it.
You don't get in. You can't get in.
Keep fighting.
Aye.
Still 2 cups to play for as well.
No, you've got to want to win the league, but you'd want to make sure you go before this World Cup break.
Just keep winning.
Don't get any further back than 7 points, or that's going to be a real struggle. And then you're relying on him, even if you beat them, you're relying on him to drop something, and it's hard. Because
we can go on a run. If you get that confidence back, you can go on a run. That's the thing.
That's about Christmas, it changes.
So I mean, somebody told me, Charlie, once, it's one of the hardest things to do is get out of a losing streak. But when you're on a winning streak, you're just expecting it every week.
Well, we win a lot at Rangers, so it was very good, and we didn't lose very often. Didn't go on a losing streak very often either. But that changed when I went to Dundee United and Watford and things.
Do you know, there's Kizo RFC, it says Lovelace, give him a chance. I was lucky enough to watch, although they beat, I think it was 6-2, but the under-19s were playing at Thistle's ground in my office is here, as you know.
Yep.
And one of the players that I was actually really impressed with was young McCausland. I don't know if you've seen much in Charlie. No, he plays up front, but he scored 2 goals against them and he was looking really, really good. So there's prospects.
Lovelace is a wee guy from Millwall, wasn't he? I've not seen him yet.
Sounds more like a porn star, doesn't it? Lovelace.
Anyway, you would know about that.
Watch that stuff.
You get some of these videos.
Lovelace. Right, I'm afraid that's us came to the end of the show. Did you enjoy that, John?
Yes, thank you for having me. It was really
Cheers,
good.
John.
Yeah, it was good. And you're welcome, Charlie. Bye.
And I'm just sorry that we didn't get a chance to read out all of the
who's taking the tickets?
Comments. Well, in fact, the tickets. In fact, you know what we'll do? I think we'll take the tickets onto social media. So we'll do a wee social media competition.
Right. And
you can tag some of your mates because, as you can see, John, the comments have come flying in. So as soon as we finish this podcast, I'll do a wee tweet and put it on Facebook.
Right.
And I'll tag. And thank you to the London Loyal. And thank you to all our sponsors, especially you, John, for coming on the show tonight. So that's Giant Sea Architectural Limited, I wish you picked a second. I see that architecture. I struggle to say that, by the way.
Just say Jane C.
Jane C, that's what he's asked for doing. ISG, resin flooring specialist, plugged in business solutions, and DB dental care. And thanks for everybody watching, and make sure you tune in and go and buy a ticket for our Christmas party. It's only £15, and you've got Chris D, you've got us, and you've got wee DJ DeVito. So that can be a Christmas party night, and it's only £15. All right, take care, and God bless. See you soon.